What's the deal, people? I am Kenjon, born a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Oregon Hall of Famer, and you tuned in to House Call, baby.
What's going on, family? It is I, Sibley Skulls. We are back for another episode of House Call. We are here with we're co-hosts, right?
Yeah,
is this what we call ourselves?
Everything. We didn't plan this, but look, great minds think alike. When you spend all the time we spend together, you do things like this. But I'm TJ Ward.
Except he got a Rolex on and I ain't got nothing on my wrist.
I'm broke, baby. I am broke.
But it's all good. We have a guest in the building who I haven't seen the wrist yet, but I've seen the hands. Oh, and the wrist is blinging too.
See?
The one and only Kenjon Barner is in the building.
What's happening?
Barner, baby.
Joining us, LA native.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're here in LA. Talk to me real quick about this hat before we get into everything.
You like
Circle
that?
of Winners, yeah.
This my boy Garen Strong thing he got going on.
I always see you having that hat on.
Yeah, I support.
He's like, how'd you see? I've never met you before, but I've stalked your Instagram.
You watching. Yes. Okay. But
Are you excited to be with us?
I am. Be here with my guy. That's my big dog. That's my OG right there.
Yay.
I've been peeping
not
what y'all
little
doing.
no more.
Yeah.
Grown ass men
And
in the
You
building.
kind of shortchanged them on the accomplishments.
I didn't do that part. That's your part.
Oh, that's
you
my
know
part.
Listen, I didn't shortchange you. If
Listen,
anyone looks at the hands, there's no shortchange there.
Yeah. LA native,
Go ahead.
3-time Super Bowl champ, Oregon Hall of Fame,
Yes, sir.
All-American.
Yeah.
What else? Big Ten correspondent, podcast host. My man does it all. So,
Kenjon
Barner, y'all.
Wait, I'm gonna clap it up too.
See, don't you want to come here every day?
I like
we clap.
this. I like
We're
the energy.
excited.
Yeah, I like the
No, it's
energy.
good. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate y'all having me.
This is great. Again, top of 2025, handling business, having big names in the building with us. How are you feeling so far? And how has your 2025 been, just to kick it off?
2025 been a blessing already.
Yeah.
Just to come into this year in a completely different space than what I was in last year. I'm all about personal growth and personal development. And so to take a look at my 2024, where it started, and where 2025 has started, all praise go to God for me. It's an absolute blessing to be sitting here. It's an absolute blessing to be seen. It's a blessing to be walking in the spaces that I'm walking in. 2025 has been good and only gonna get better.
We talking greatness, right?
Yeah.
You go from playing in the Natty, drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get traded to Eagles. You get released, bounce back, and you in New England.
Yeah,
Crazy.
The house
after
of
the Super Bowl. Yep.
Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick,
The GOAT.
the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was driving the boat?
Ooh.
Who you think was driving the boat? Bill Belichick was driving the boat. Wasn't no other driver. It wasn't even another seat in the front.
Ooh. Solo. Bill said
What?
move.
Everybody in the back.
Yeah.
I got this. Yeah, no, that was Bill's house.
Okay.
Through and through. That was, Josh had everybody, the coaches, you know what I'm saying? But that was Bill's show for sure. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I barely heard Tom talk that year.
Really?
In Tampa. Barely. He was either Josh McDaniels or it was Bill. We get in the walkthroughs and, Tom would say things, but as far as like...
Was it friction?
Was it friction? I'll just give you a brief little story and you tell me if it was friction.
Okay, yeah.
I get
I'll
hurt.
be the judge.
I got I'm having turf toe issues. And so I tell Tom, and Tom was like, go see my people at TB12, which they got a spot right outside the stadium. And so I go see TB12, that's where I'm going to get treatment. And eventually I have to go in the training room to tell them, like, yo, this ain't, because I can't miss practice and they not know what's going on. And so I'm going to tell them, I was like, I've been getting treatment, but I'm going to TB12. He looked around, he said, don't say that to anybody else. Don't say that too loud. He said, that'll get you in trouble around here. I'm like, what? Like, I'm going to get better. He said, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah, no. They don't like that around here. I'm like, why? It was like, Bill don't like it. Nobody, they don't like it. They don't like it around, don't say that. And so there was friction. There was clearly friction. There was undiscussed friction that you could tell. It was, I'm a person that pay attention. I'm listening to what you say, but I'm really looking at what you say. And there were certain things that would be said in meetings. You kind of like, I ain't no fool.
Mm-hmm.
And I can read between the lines.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely friction. You could definitely, you could see some tension.
Well, the friction worked, okay?
Yeah.
Well, at least it was on the
look
back
what y'all
end.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah. Not out
then,
there, handle business.
So Belichick is now North Carolina,
Yep.
University of North Carolina, head
UNC.
football coach and GM.
Yeah.
He's getting to make all the rules over there in his older age, after coaching the NFL, going backwards to college, which you don't see much.
Right.
Do you think he has a temperament for college football?
I said this when I seen him take that job. If you're going to go to North Carolina, you're going to have to really love football. You're going to have to love football. Because if not, I love playing for the Patriots, but I'm a guy that work hard. And I got a passion for football. If you don't love football, if you kind of just doing football because you kind of like it, you're good at it, he going to make you hate it because you're going to have to work for Bill. And then dealing with him, Bill is sit and talk football with you all day long. He's like, I put Bill in this category. You ever spoken to somebody brilliant? It's like they're kind of socially awkward.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
they just know the one thing.
The conversation is different. It's just a little bit different. But if you're a young cat and you want to learn the game of football and you want to get good at football, go to North Carolina. Because he's going to teach you the game and he's going to get you ready and he's going to bring out the best in you. That's one thing Bill going to do. Now, as far as a temperament, this is what I think about Bill. I think Bill is smart enough to place people around him that will have the temperament that he doesn't have to deal with younger guys. I don't know how it works. I don't. I hope it works. But me being around Bill, you got to be a certain guy to be coached by him. You got to be a certain level of guy. One, he's not going to hold no punches. He going to tell you. I'll tell you another story.
Yeah, I mean, if you like to be coached, because I like to be coached for sure.
Yeah.
When if there's lack of coaching, I have a problem.
I can't function in
like
that.
I have
because you feel like no one cares,
problem,
right? Because no one cares. He feels like no one cares. It's like, what am I here for?
Your preparation is hard and as detailed as mine. I need eyes on me to show me what I need to get better at. Do you even know as much as I know?
Yeah, make you question.
Okay,
you know
but also, do you think this day and age right now, not judging any of the young athletes coming in or any of the young people coming in, but slightly judging a little bit. Well, with the NILs, with everything that's going on right now, the game has changed completely.
Yes.
You don't have to work as hard as most people did. I don't know. I wasn't on the
illusion.
field. Well, maybe it is. So tell me I'm wrong. Prove me wrong, please, because I would like to know. Just from what I've heard, what I've seen, do we still have those athletes out there? And I know there are, because I've seen some that are coming up, especially on this 2025, that still want to be coached like that and will listen and actually take it to that next level. Are we going to have those real athletes that we've had in the past still come up to the forefront now? And would they want someone like a Bill Belichick coaching them? Or are they just showing up?
I believe so. Not everybody. I think, and I'll go ahead and say it, this generation of kid is spoiled. You know, they babied. Everything about this generation is about instant gratification.
Yeah.
But even with that, when I been up at Oregon, like dudes is grinding, dudes are working, dudes is it's a myth. Don't let the money give you the perception that it's like the NFL where guys could kind of chill, you know, do it. It ain't that. Like you still, I don't care how much money you got, you're gonna get out here and work.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're not going to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. It's definitely gonna be that guys still work, guys still grinding. The game changes. It changes a lot. But at the end of the day, if you want to get to that league, you can't get there without hard work.
You got to put it all out there.
You got to put it. You got to put it.
I mean, it's not life-changing money for them not to work to get to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, I mean, some of them, like, you know, you got the quarterback that just transferred to Miami, got that $10 million. I mean, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for your first.
For him and what his goals should be and ambitions, that's not nothing.
Right.
All right. So it's all about the community around you, who you have backing you, where'd you learn your roots and your morals and all those habits from. That's why the importance of being a father and having a father or having a male role model for a lot of these kids is very important because in situations when they don't have their leadership, you see them fall to the wayside, get a little struggle and they give up, or the entitlement of the participation trophy. Like just because you're doing this or you're doing that, you deserve to be acknowledged or patted on the back when that is far from the case.
Yeah. back in the day too, we had lazy folks. So it's like,
no doubt.
it just depends on the person and where they want to go and how much work they want to put in. So I get it.
But one thing about Bill, like I said, you gonna work hard. You don't got a choice.
Can we go off of Bill for a second? And another guy, Tom Brady, obviously. Mm-hmm. I work for the Raiders, seeing what he's doing as minority owner. Thoughts on that?
I love it. Tom know football. Tom know the game. Tom know what it takes to win. So I expect it's not going to be instant, but I do expect to see a change and a shift in the Raiders organization and how things are going for them. Mm-hmm. Because when you have somebody great like Tom Brady, somebody who understands the game of football, who understands what it takes to get to that next level, not only get to that next level, but maintain that greatness, you can't help but get better. And that organization has to get better. And I think he's going to have a hand in that.
So the time you had in New England versus the time you had in Tampa, right? Mm-hmm. So Baker said something about the guys respond to him a little more because he's more fun in so many words, right? Uh-huh. Was Brady fun? And I mean, as a competitor myself, there's nothing more fun than winning.
Right.
So if we winning chips, I'm having a ball.
I'm having a great time.
I'm having a grand time. Speaking of that, please.
Man. Tom was around at practice and in meetings. Outside of that, you didn't see Tom. And Tom was going through a lot in Tampa. You know what I'm saying? That year after we won the bowl, he was going through a lot.
Different times.
So I'm not going to expect you to be the same dude when your personal life is essentially falling apart in front of the world to see. So for anybody who is saying this or that about him, bro, you go through your worst time and your worst days and have your family situation fall apart and be the same person. Mm-hmm. I promise you won't. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, in 2020, Tom was cool. Yeah. I had two different versions of Tom. New England Tom and Tampa Tom, two completely different people. Tampa Tom was way more talkative, had way more of a say-so, way more voice. But I'm sure a lot of guys didn't like Tom because Tom get on your ass. Mm. Tom gonna cuss you out. Tom gonna get on you. And a lot of cats, they not built like that.
What was one of the cuss outs? How did it sound? What word does he like to use?
He use them all.
What's his favorite curse word?
Is it the F word? I just feel like motherfucker.
You feel like that? Motherfucker. Listen, he use them all and he use them well.
Tom use them, babe.
You know how to use it, right?
You know how to use them.
Tom use them well.
You motherfucker.
Tom use them well.
Tom was just throw it in.
Listen, almost a greater cursor as he was a quarterback.
What? Curse like a pea.
What? Make you feel like a child. I'm gonna say it like that. Literally, like Tom, and you be like, damn, hold on, bro.
Hold on.
We grown men out here. Literally, guys would be like, bro, who are you talking to like that? Okay.
You know what? I done seen Peyton cuss out some guys, but I bet you it wasn't as smooth as Tom's cussing out. Like, Peyton would get on you, but it'd be like, motherfucker.
Like a dad, right?
Like, I can see Tom cuss you out, and then lighting a cigarette afterwards, like, you see how I get on you.
See, Tom.
See how I had to tell him that shit real quick.
Tom had a mixture of brother and Caucasian in him, if you get my drift, okay?
See, that's exactly what I'm
So the cuss out was a little bit
right
different.
there.
They was real aggressive,
yeah,
but real proper at something. You'd be like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
But then it was times you'd be like, hold on now. Like, Tom, chill out.
That was a soulful
like chill out. We was in
He
meetings,
really meant that
Tampa. And Tom hated on whether you ran dig routes. He hated when you didn't stay flat. And so we watching film. I won't say the receiver name. I'm gonna leave it alone. He didn't stay flat. He came up at an angle. Now, at the time, B. Leftwich is the OC. So he talking. Tom said, listen, I'm not gonna throw you the fucking ball if you'll never get it. You either do it or don't run the route at all. Everybody in the room is like, whoa. Like, now the receiver, he's a guy. Mm-hmm. You gonna let him talk to you like that, bro? Like, you gonna let him I'm looking at all the receivers like, I'm looking after the meeting. They're like, I don't know who he think he was talking to, but we're gonna have to. Nah, you know who he was talking to, because you the one that ran that damn route the way he don't like. Yeah,
the way he don't
like.
Said, yeah.
Hey, shit,
like, I'll never throw you the ball. As a matter of fact, I'll put somebody else in. I said,
oh man,
oh wow.
what they saying?
How you turn around and look at the receivers?
What you gonna do?
Who gonna say something? Who gonna stand up? Somebody got to stand up. Somebody got to stand up and say something.
But he was right.
The top is
he was right, though, right?
He was right, but it's a way to be right.
But it's a way to be right.
It's a way to be right.
Hey, listen, when you trying to win, you ain't sparing. You got time to spare.
You ain't got time.
Tom
didn't have time.
I just told y'all my guy was going through some of the worst times.
Yeah, that part too.
So he was like, "You messing with me on this?"
So a lot of that was kind of misdirected, you know. But
I seen some things on Instagram about directed anger. Pass it down from the boss to the husband, to the husband, to the wife, to the wife, to the child.
Yeah.
To the child, to the pet.
Yeah. And that's
now you got an angry dog.
Not to the pet. Not to the pet.
We had an angry dog in the house. we had an angry
dog.
Big dog. King Corso.
Hey, but man, like you obviously a legend, LA legend, Oregon legend, circle of winners.
Yes.
My dog G Strong.
Yes, sir.
Oregon Duck.
Yeah.
Brother. Now this Oregon Duck community is real tight. I don't know how tight y'all think you know, but you have no idea.
Give it to us, TJ.
It's tight, man. We real life brothers.
Every day.
Yeah.
We still talk, communicate. You know, that bond doesn't leave. And I want to kind of get into the Oregon Ducks a little bit, coming off not such a great New Year day.
But you were hyped about the season.
We
had a great
season. We had a great season.
But then.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Moment of silence.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right, we back.
For our Ducks, that elusive national championship, man. We done had some great teams with a bunch of great players.
Yeah.
That natty, man, is eluding us. Dan Lanning did a great job this year. Yeah. I thought it was the year we win the natty. I was like, man, this is the best team I done seen all the way around.
Yes.
Had some injuries, got a little time to rest. Ohio State came back and put us to sleep.
They put us to sleep. They did
what's
something
missing,
else.
man?
What's it gonna take?
What are we gonna do?
Listen, I'm just as confused as y'all when it comes to that, because like you said, I said it before season started. We gonna win a chip. We gonna win a chip this year. Like, this is our year. This the most open college football had ever been. Nick Saban leaving, Georgia not being what Georgia was. In my opinion, Michigan clearly wasn't Michigan. Ohio State was up in the air. It was open. And in my opinion, it was ours for the taking. I came in up under y'all.
Yeah.
I came in up under y'all, and I seen how y'all handled us. I seen how y'all handled the team. It's a different level of leadership that has to be there. Like,
on the team.
On the team.
Nobody else.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the cats that's there.
Mm.
It got to be a different level of leadership. One thing that stick out to me, and I tell people all the time, was the way you talked to Chad Peppers when we was out there for winter ball. And I hate that I said my dog name.
Yeah, it's
too late now.
Yeah,
it's too late now.
Anyway,
but we was out there for winter ball. We were just out there doing 7-on-7 offense versus defense. No coaches, no nothing. We all out there, we practicing, we getting it in. Buddy come down the tunnel late, and we out there in the cold. You walk, turn around, he coming down. Hey, get your motherfucking ass out of here. Like, if you ain't gonna be on time, if you ain't gonna be out here with the rest of us, we don't want you here. Get off the field. Go. But if you didn't go, it was gonna be an issue. But that's the type of leadership we have. Y'all created dogs. There's a reason why after you guys left, that program continued to rise. And when I watch, I'm not saying that you gotta be that, but the few times that I've been around, like, player leadership is everything. Like, the coach can't do everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm sitting on that sideline at the Rose Bowl, it wasn't enough players. Trayshawn Holden was really the only dude that I'm looking at like, yeah, he got dog in him. I didn't see enough dog.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see enough.
Yeah.
I didn't see enough. When it get hard, who are you? I don't want to know who you are when it's easy and when you win and you at your best. I could care less about that. When everything is against you and you got a fight at your hands, who are you then? Show me that same energy, that same fight, that same grit, that same cockiness. I need to see all of that when you down. And I didn't see that.
I watched defense specifically. I didn't see enough on defense, especially from my position. That's where my biggest issue was. I'm just like, I don't see it. Like you say, Holden, Tez be out there fired up, but these are receivers.
Yeah.
These should not be your most vocal, most aggressive, dominant players on your team with the loudest word, right? And you speak to us, you know, being good leaders, me, Walt, and we appreciate that y'all was willing to be led, right?
Yeah.
We know the dogs that was coming in, the young ones, you, LaMichael, couple stories about y'all two. These are like my little brothers that you couldn't catch. Like your mom, like, get your little brother and bring him in here. And I go outside and go get him and I can't catch him.
You on your bike and everything.
Because these two was the fastest little kids.
We was out of there.
But they both came in, they came into work, they was respectful. They wasn't like, oh, F you and we gonna do it our way. You know, they took advice. A little story about LaMike, man, because LaMike used to be our scout team back for a minute.
Giving them boys
he
the
used to be
blues
out
over
there
there.
for a long time. My other running mate, he used to be giving him to work a lot more than me, right? Way more than me. I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't gonna leave that out.
Oh, we're not
but
saying
anyway,
names again.
So they used to be running scout. I'm like, man, they been giving us the blues. Like some days more than others, right? So early, before this became a full season, where if it was early in the season, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna introduce him to college football. LaMichael James, huh? So we in practice, and he used to tell me, you're not finna get me. You're not finna get me. I'm like, it's a long season. I'm gonna get you.
No, you're not.
So I tried to get him one time. I usually don't be doing too much. I would try to get him, but I ain't really try to get him, right? So he getting the ball, and they running the little read option, and I'm chasing him. So the play's flowing this way, I'm backside. And if you know the RPO, you read it, and he'll get the ball, string it along, and then cut up. So I'm waiting for him to cut up. I got backside. So he cut up. I'm like, bingo, I got action. He don't see me. Well, I think he don't see me. So he hit the gas. Pow! I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to get him from the side. I'm just finna give him a little thumb. Just a little knock him off his feet. I ain't finna
a little bit.
Man, I'm running, I'm closing in. It's like, and I go to launch, and he look at me at the last minute. I see him look at me, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, damn it.
It's over with. It's over.
Damn it.
It's over. It's over
I
with.
put that right foot down and stop.
Left my dog out there.
Man, I must have hit. I don't know who was coming from the other side, but we hit each other. Fire! I said, damn, that little motherfucker gonna be good.
Yeah.
He gonna be good.
Dog.
It's trouble.
Yeah,
I said, the NCAA is trouble with these two because I can't catch them.
You had to test them though.
Yeah.
You had to try.
I tried to give him a welcome. He gave me a welcome.
He gave you a welcome.
Yeah.
And that's how the story goes.
That's how the story goes, man.
Your transition though from Oregon into the NFL was also not one of, I'm just coming in here and I know what I'm doing and it's going to happen. And you did a lot of studying.
Yeah.
A lot of work went into that. It wasn't just easy road for you. But coming off of such a prestigious name, Oregon, to going into that, what was the challenge? What were the challenges for you? And why was that such a homework project to get into the NFL?
The biggest challenge was really once getting there was learning how to play at that level. Some guys' transition is seamless. Some guys' transition is effortless. Their style fits the league. For me, it wasn't that case. That wasn't the situation for me. It was, I came in up under Jonathan Stewart, Mike Tolbert, D'Angelo Williams, get traded to Philadelphia, Darren Sproles, Shady McCoy, DeMarco Murray come in, Ryan Matthews comes in.
Yeah, it's all the names. It's all the names.
You know what I'm saying? These is all first round cats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, what do I
They
do?
done did work in the league.
In the league,
Yeah.
So it was, for me, that process of getting ready for the NFL, getting drafted to the NFL, and by the time I started playing was no different than my entire life growing up. I've always had to wait. My gratification wasn't instant. It was always on the back end. Okay. So for me, the preparation for the league had already taken place from playing NJB basketball, game time basketball, AAU basketball, junior All-American football with the Reno Valley 49ers at the time. It was always a waiting game for me. It was never, I'm on now. High school, that was different.
Yeah.
That was different. But outside of that, it was always a waiting game. So the preparation I've already been prepared for what was coming. I didn't know it, but my childhood and everything prepared me for that. So that transition, it was hard because, like you said, you go from being a guy. It's like when you in the 8th grade at junior high school, you're the dude.
Right.
That next year, you go to be a freshman starting all over again out of high school. So that's what it was. It was like, okay, I'm the guy at Oregon. I'm the guy. I get in the league. You're nobody. You gotta start all over again. But I've always been humble about where I'm at and what I have to do. I've never expected anything to be given to me. I've never expected it to be laid out for me. I always had to work, always had to grind, and I've never had a problem with it.
In that grind, in that humbleness, in that being ready, knowing you're ready, but also seeing like these other guys who have already put in so much work, is there fear? Is there shakiness in that? Or is it, no, I'm going to keep doing the game that I know and go out there and show them what I got?
The path was a little bit opposite for me. Like, when I got to high school, I had to wait. You know, I had some dogs in front of me, right? All-state players, you know, Division I. Then when I got to Oregon, I walked on, so I had to wait and see what my position was, fit in. And once I got the hang of it, I had a couple injuries, and then here comes the Pat Chungs and the Matt Harbors and guys that are really talented. So I had to really climb that depth chart and get to play my last 2 years. When I got in the league, I went second round. It was kind of like, all right, you the man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I got there, it was like, oh, you second round pick.
You got this.
You the man. Here go the keys. You better not crash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Type. So it was a little bit adjustment that way for me. It's like I wasn't used to like being him like that off the top. It's like, okay, this is different. But I did hit a roadblock with that because you run around like I'm the man, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Nah, you ain't playing good enough. And I got benched doing camp for like a couple of days. And that was like a reality check. Like, you've got to where you are because you have always been either undervalued, injury, or you've always had to work through some shit. So don't get to where you prayed to be and let this shit slip.
Right.
So that was my first sign of like, okay, even if you in this position, this shit could be taken tomorrow, especially in this league, this NFL. It's quick.
Yeah.
It was, the fear for me was fear of failure, not living up to my own expectations and my own standard once the opportunity came. I knew what I could do. In my earlier years in the league, I said I flat out wasn't ready. I was not ready. I say this, I should have been out the league after my rookie year.
You think that?
Absolutely.
Why so?
I'm trash.
Wait, how?
Listen, listen, now let me say this.
360 rushing yards against SC to trash.
Bro, it's the league. It's different. It was, you know the league, bro. This.
So many people don't understand that. Not just as fans, but players, I don't think understand that either.
And again, understanding this.
Was it the speed?
It was everything. Bro, I couldn't block nobody. Who you gonna stay on?
That's a huge part of being a running back in the NFL.
Listen, if
huge part.
If you can't block the number one priority on my team, if you can't block for him, you can't play.
Yeah, I gotta sit down.
I understood that very clear. I'm 186 pounds trying to block Thomas Davis.
Do you remember the first time getting hit?
Yes, I got hit by Luke Kuechly in practice.
Luke Kuechly.
What are we talking about?
That's the second time in a row.
That's the second time we talked about.
I told you, he's violent, man.
Yeah, that's Clark.
Two places at once.
Look, I got hit by Luke. I got hit by TD. I was getting hit by guys. Like,
I'm practice too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even like they're trying to go full speed, but it looked like it because I'm light in the ass.
Damn.
So it's like, what am I supposed to do?
So how important is special teams?
Huge. That's what got me 10 years.
Right.
That's
10.
That's what got
me
me
superstars.
That's what got me 10.
And to humble yourself enough. That takes a lot because egos are huge in this business, in this world, period. But to humble yourself and be like, hey, man, I got to take another route to be where I want to be.
You know who I give a lot of credit to that for me? Coach Oz.
Man, Coach
Oz at Oregon.
Shout out Coach Oz. Coach Oz, tell your story, I'll tell mine.
Tell your story, I'll tell
Coach
mine.
Oz used to always talk to me about special teams. I was a returner in college. I took a hit, and in order for me to keep playing, the agreement was for me to never play special teams again while I was in college. And so we would get into it all the time for a period of time because I'm not even going to special teams meeting. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing this no more. Like, I'm done with this. And he would always say, your biggest impact at the next level is going to be on special teams. He said, I know you want to be a running back, but one thing about Coach Oz, he had always been honest with me. He was the only coach that told me I couldn't play running back at the college level at that particular point in time because I was too small. Every other college coach is telling me, oh yeah, we want you at running back. Oregon telling me I can't, but y'all telling me I can.
Right.
But Coach Oz would consistently stay on me about special teams. You're a great returner. Like, you can't be on the sideline. You gotta be willing to block. You gotta be willing to run down on kickoff. You gotta be willing to return the ball. That's where you're gonna make money. I get into the league, Darren Sproles, another cat who, Ted Ginn as well, cats that completely changed the trajectory of my career. Darren Sproles got a hold of me and treated me like I was his child. I used to tell him all the time, bro, I'm not your kid. Like,
shout out Sproles.
Yeah, shout out to D Sproles. Like, stop talking, I'm not your kid. Like, Sproles to see me doing something, bro, get your ass over here. Come do this. Come over here and do this.
That's how he is too.
That's exactly how we would be saying. Like, I'm getting warm up pregame. This is kind of like really when I took the next step, returning the ball. I'm catching punch from my ball. He not over there. I hear him calling my name. KB, don't do that.
Not
but that's what
like,
KB, what are you doing? I'm like, bro, I'm getting ready. Why are you catching punch from our punter? You're not catching punch from him in the game. Get your ass over here with me and go to this other side of the field and watch this punter so you can see how the ball is coming off his foot, how it's spinning, come see his distance. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And so I get up under guys like that and I'm seeing, okay, running back ain't the only way to make a career out of this.
Right.
And it's a lot of guys who aren't willing to return the ball. Like, to do punt return, you gotta have a different mindset. You gotta be a little off your rocker. But being around those guys, they completely changed. And again, that's what got me tenure. If it wasn't for special teams, I probably would have been out of the league.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say second year, third.
One, you already said year one.
Yeah, year one. He's like, I'm done. Game one, I'm out.
And listen, let me say this again. I wasn't trash. I was exotic trash. I was exotic. You know
Wait,
what I'm saying?
Is exotic?
Garbage. I was garbage. I was
and we're done.
Fancy trash.
He was fancy trash.
Yeah, I wasn't American trash. I was overseas trash.
Man, look. But nah, Coach Oz, man.
But it worked out.
It worked out. And I give credit to Coach Oz too, because I wasn't getting no burn my sophomore year, right? He came and was like, TJ, I know you've been dealing with some injuries, whatever. Think you should come play kickoff, right? I'm like, what's kickoff? So he get me on kickoff, and the first game, I remember we at the big house playing Michigan. So this is my first game back, and I'm running down on kickoff, and I can't make no plays because I got this Don Joy on. If anybody, y'all know what a Don Joy, that's why he's laughing right now, because everybody that play football know what a Don Joy is. And if you play anything that takes skill, you cannot wear a Don Joy
in order to be successful.
I'm telling you right now. I don't know how bro from Notre Dame wear that Don Joy and he be running that ball like that, but you can't do it. So I'm running down on kickoff, and it's not literally squeaking, but I can hear it like in my head, like
it's clanking. That thing clanking.
So I got a hitch, like
Forrest Gump. What do you?
Man, I felt like Forrest Gump. So I'm like, I tell the trainer, I tell Chief, I'm like, Chief, I can't play with this thing on, man. I might as well quit playing football and be a full-time student if I got to wear this. He's like, man, take it off. I'm like, all right. I take it off. I promise you I make the next tackle on kickoff. I promise you, boo. So I make the next tackle. I'm like, cool, I could do this kickoff stuff, right? So next game come, and we scored a lot of points. So I was making a lot of tackles on kickoff. I remember one game, I forget who we played. I think I led the team in tackles, just on kickoff. Had like crazy. 7 tackles. Crazy. 7 kickoffs, 7 tackles.
Damn.
Leading tackler. End of the game, look at the stat, I was leading tackler. But Coach Oz told me, he was like, you gonna play on special teams, you play for me, make a name for yourself, to where I started making those plays and other teams started taking notice. Like, hey, man, why you not playing defense? I don't know, man. Ask the coach. But if that portal was there, I'm glad the portal wasn't there, because I may not have graduated the Duck. I'm telling you, I would have been out of there.
I was almost out of there without the portal.
Me too. But I didn't have that year to waste. But Coach Oz, man, great man.
So shout out to Coach.
Shout out to Coach Oz.
He's made a lot of careers. And I know we're not the only two.
Absolutely
no. And it's, again, going back to the camaraderie and the brotherhood and then the fan base and everything that you guys had. But again, going fast forward, it didn't matter where you started because, 3 Super Bowls?
Yes, ma'am.
How special has everything been for you when you look back on it? I mean, that's amazing to be able to say, this is where I started. I felt like my first snap should have been me out of the league. And then fast forward to where you are. Fast forward to that 3 Super Bowls, where you are now as a correspondent, and also
family,
just, everything that you've accomplished so far. Isn't that a special place to be in today?
It's one of the best places to be. I'll say this. Your best movie director couldn't have wrote the script for my life. I know where my blessings come from. I know if it wasn't for God, none of this would be possible. Being in the right places at the right times, getting hurt, getting cut, ending up back in Philly the year that they make that Super Bowl run. Sproles is fighting for me. Just everything about this path and where I've ended up with football. Without my Lord and Savior, none of it is possible, and none of it would be what it is. But it is an amazing feeling to be able to look back over my career, where I started, my trials, my tribulations, my struggles, and to be able to say I turned all of that into a 10-year career. Not only that, I developed as a man, and because I developed in the most important areas that you can, now I'm able to walk in who I am in business and every other area of my life. So football it's been an absolute blessing to me, whether it's the people, the connections that I made, the coaches, the situations that I've been put in. There's nothing like it. And it's an amazing feeling. And I'm so grateful and thankful to God that I had the path that I had, because I couldn't imagine me being any other way than what I am right now.
Drop the mic.
Definitely.
So with you saying all of that and knowing how much your faith and everything else has played a part in this, obviously there have been people, like you said, TJ was there prior to you. You get to look up to certain individuals. Being from Los Angeles, I was just looking over everything, and I was fortunate enough to cover everything with Kobe when everything happened. It was an awful, tragic situation, and the world lost an amazing human being. You had wrote, "Lost for words. People just don't understand the impact he had on me and how much love I had for Kobe. Piece of me left in that crash." As an LA native, watching what he did on the court, you spoke about basketball earlier also in your life. What was it that he gave you that brought you to where you are today?
He gave me something to look up to. You know, being an LA kid, I watched Kobe grow as I grew. I watched Kobe struggle as I struggled as a kid. He gave me motivation. He gave me something that I could turn to and be like, okay, I'm watching this guy do it. I'm watching him struggle. I'm watching him airball. I'm watching him get benched. I'm watching him not play. But then I'm also watching him become the Black Mamba. I'm also watching him become one of the world's greatest basketball players that anyone has ever seen. He meant so much to me. I cried like a baby when Kobe died. I cried like a baby because it was like I lost a piece of my childhood. I lost a piece of what made me who I am. Like, I would literally want to fight you over Kobe.
Right.
Like, I'm in junior high school. I remember when they were playing the 76ers. Everybody in the school coming wearing their Philly jerseys or wearing their Laker jerseys. And it's like, we having banter back and forth, but it get to a point where I'm like, bro, well, what's up then? Like, if
what you want to do?
If you really think AI is that good, fight me about it.
Right.
Because he's not better than Kobe, but that's how I felt. But it was the passion that he played with, the tenacity, it was his drive, it was the motor of and the mentality of, I don't care what's in front of me, I'm gonna break your will. That dude was special. That dude was so special. And it was, again, that was something I grew up on. Like, generations before me had Michael Jordan, but I had Kobe, and I had Kobe in the city where I was from. So it was a completely different dynamic, a completely different attachment to him.
Yeah, it felt close, personal.
Yeah, it was. I felt like he was my brother. Like, I felt like I didn't know the dude until way later, but I had that much love for him that it was absolutely personal. You couldn't tell me I didn't know him. Like, that's how I felt.
You met him for the first time when you guys went to the national championship?
Yeah, 2010 when we met him. 2010.
What was that night like?
I don't get starstruck. My cousin's Andre Miller, played in the league for years.
Yeah.
Been in Miami with him, with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, all these. It didn't matter. When I met Kobe, well, I'm like, Kobe.
Paul started sweating.
Right. Yeah, for real.
You
Like,
feeling it now.
For real, I'm like, we going to the back, we going to the tunnel. And I'm like, you gotta be cool. Like, you can't get in this spot and blow it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, I should have brought my jersey. I don't know. You know, I'm going through all this in my head, but it was nerve-wracking because I'm like, this is my childhood GOAT. This is my idol. This is the dude that I idolize. This is the dude that when I shoot a jump shot as a kid, I'm not yelling out Jordan, I'm yelling out Kobe.
Yeah.
This is that for me. this is that moment. And so not many people get to meet the people that they idolize and that they end up falling in love because of what they do. But it was nerve-wracking. I'm sweating. Man, okay, just play it cool, bro. It's just a man. He walked out them doors. I said, ooh.
Oh, shit.
He does, right?
I said, ooh.
He feels larger than life when you first see him.
Listen, he was only 6'6", but in that moment, he was about 8 feet tall. I think it might have been DT standing there. I elbowed. I said, that's Kobe. Mm-hmm. He like, I know. I said, you from Texas. You don't know.
He don't get it.
You don't get it.
Don't worry. But it was
for Olajuwon.
Yeah, bro. I was jittery. I'm sweating. Nervous.
Did you get words with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he said, Kobe was such a dope dude. He sat for like 30 minutes and just talked to the five of us. When I say it was Kenny Rowe, Darren Thomas, myself, James Harris, and Casey Matthews and Spencer Payson.
Yeah.
He sat and talked to us for about 30 minutes before he ever went out and talked to the rest of the team. Like we just sat back there having conversation. Him giving us game about what it takes to be a champion, what it feels like to be in those championship moments. He's giving it, just having general conversation like he knew us. Mm-hmm. So, getting at him where I'll tell him like, bro, like, you don't know what you mean to me. Like, you are that deal to me. You're that guy.
When I seen that picture, I was mad. I'm like, dang.
Why wasn't I there?
Winning the Natty, and they got to meet Kobe. I could have been 1 year younger. Yeah. But that was dope because I definitely remember that moment because I grew up. I'm a Warriors fan. The Kings, they were better at the time, so there's no NorCal love, and we was rooting for the Kings against the Lakers. Huh?
You said like they was kind of better than the Warriors back then.
I said no, they were better. Not kind of. The Warriors was trash. But, I'm a root for, what's closer to home, which was Sac.
Which was
family in Sac.
Yeah. So
I
you
like
were
Mike
Sac?
Bibby. I was rooting for Sac over the Lakers for sure.
I was Warriors.
I like Vlade Divac and Chris Webber.
Chris
Webber was cool. Doug Christie.
Doug Christie.
They had
Congratulations to Doug, too, now coaching and doing everything.
They had squad. Anyway, they really should have won that series. Peja was butt naked in the corner for the win.
You said they should have won what series?
The Lakers series. We talking about what series?
The boys got spanked every time we seen
them.
No,
they didn't. It went to like 7 games.
Now we're going to the archives.
Anyway.
We're taking it back.
Anyway.
That's what we did to them.
I always had a respect for Kobe. Never really been a Kobe or a Laker fan, but
no, those are moments.
That was a little envious moment for me.
TJ had envy. You had,
exactly. He had nightmares and tears.
Nah,
that's okay.
It would have been better if y'all would have won that Natty.
Dim's
I got 3
fighting
Super Bowl rings, so I'm
Damn,
I can't say nothing.
All right, what's coming up next? We know you got a pod, but everything else moving forward.
So starting with the pod, Ducks of a Feather, myself, my brother Jay Stu. It's all things Oregon. We kind of dabble in. We might talk about something here and there outside of Oregon. But it's a pod for the fan base to stay connected to current players, but also reconnect with past players. We bring a lot of guys that were there, guys that were fan favorites, to kind of like let you know what's going on in their life, to kind of reconnect you, kind of reestablish that relationship, because we all know in college, once you leave college, you go on and you go on about your life, and it's the next wave of kids that's coming in, but you never forget those players. So we give the fan base an opportunity to get reattached, but not only that, give them a player's perspective on the game of 2 guys who were great at Oregon, went on to do their thing in the league, and also have something valid and valuable to say about the game. So the pod, Ducks of a Feather, check it out. All your streaming platforms, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all of that good stuff. But outside of that, I'm doing broadcasting. Like you said, been working with the Big Ten Network.
Yeah.
Was supposed to be doing just the social media aspect of it, but it turned into me doing television and doing all of that, and I'm absolutely loving what I'm doing. It's very rare that you get to do what you love. And
do you ever talk to yourself in the mirror and be like, "This is me"? Fix your tie. Do you do anything?
Nah, listen. I heard you got a crazy media voice.
Reporting live. Nah,
I don't see it. This is Kenjon Barner.
It's Kenjon.
I don't.
Hey.
And I probably should practice more, but
you gotta have an intro.
Do I?
Hey, like what TJ
like
just
Sibs.
said.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. Ashley Adamson and Yogi. The best piece of advice they gave me was be yourself. Like,
be yourself. That's
don't
it.
come in here trying to change. Don't try. And so I want to give people authentic Kenjon, because if I'm not authentic, if it's not organic, there's nothing to get from that.
And
so
the
I just
viewers
give
know.
Me. Yeah, and
the viewers know.
I'm gonna give you me in every sense of the word. You're gonna get my personality. You're gonna get my goofiness. You're gonna get my realness, and you're gonna get my honesty.
Yeah.
So just like I said, doing this broadcasting, Big Ten stuff, and just trying to work my way up this ladder, and just stay positioned.
Man, what an amazing episode. My dog Kenjon Barner in the house. Pleasure for you being here. We appreciate you coming and being vulnerable, being informal, being encouraging, and all that, being a great legend that you are, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.